The perfect wedding ballroom glittered under crystal chandeliers. The air thick with the scent of white roses and champagne. Guests in elegant attire murmured praises as the bride glided down the aisle, her smile radiant, her gown clinging to her slender frame like liquid silk. Dominic Vargas stood at the altar, his gaze fixed on Celine Montejo, with a devotion that made the crowd sigh in the corner. Half hidden by a towering floral arrangement, Sofia Fuentes watched from her wheelchair. Her hands rested calmly in her lap, her expression unreadable. A few guests glanced her way, their whispers sharp with curiosity. Why was she here? But Sofia wasn't crying. She wasn't angry. She was smiling. Flashback. 3 years earlier, Sofia had been at the height of her career, a best-selling novelist whose psychological thrillers dissected betrayal with surgical precision. That night at a packed bookstore reading, she'd closed her latest novel with a line that now felt prophetic. The most dangerous predators don't threaten you. They make you feel safe until the moment they strike. Dominic had been in the front row, his pride unmistakable. Afterward, as they drove home, he'd squeezed her hand. "You always see through people," he said. "Good thing I've got nothing to hide." Their life had been perfect. The Manhattan townhouse, dinner parties that stretched past midnight, plans for a family. Until the accident. The rain-slicked road had been an ordinary Tuesday. Sofia was driving home from her publisher's office when headlights blinded her. The screech of metal, the world spinning then darkness. She woke up 3 days later to the beep of machines and Dominic's voice, raw with fear. "You're okay," he kept saying, his grip too tight on her hand. "We'll get through this." What? As weeks passed, his devotion frayed. He arrived later to her therapy sessions, took hushed calls in the hallway. Then came Celine, his new assistant, young, beautiful, attentive. The betrayal 6. Months after the accident, Sofia wheeled into Dominic's study. His phone lit up with a text. "I miss you already. Last night was perfect. Can't wait until she's gone." When Dominic emerged from the shower, she was waiting, his phone in her lap. "Who is she?" He didn't lie. "Celine." The divorce was swift. Dominic was generous with money, not explanations. The day the papers were signed, an invitation arrived. His wedding to Celine, 1 week later. Miriam, her aide, gasped. "You're not going?" Sofia traced the embossed letters. "Oh, I'm going." Because Sofia knew something no one else did, and the story was just beginning. The wedding reception buzzed with laughter and clinking glasses. Celine floated between guests, her laughter like wind chimes light, practiced. Dominic never left her side, his hand possessive on the small of her back. Sofia watched from the shadows, her wheelchair positioned near an arch of roses. A waiter offered champagne. She declined. She wasn't here to drink. She was here to see a recognitionarium. Her home health aide leaned down. "She's even more striking in person," she murmured, nodding toward Celine. Sofia's fingers tightened around the armrests. "Do you still think she looks familiar?" Miriam hesitated. "It's the scar." Celine's right wrist bore a thin, pale line barely noticeable unless you knew to look. Miriam had seen it weeks ago when Celine visited Dominic at home. "I'm sure now," Miriam whispered. "She's Caroline Foster." The Miami Cassetto nights later, Sofia sat at her desk, her laptop glowing in the dark. What? Miriam had connected her with a former colleague from the Mariposa Retirement Clinic in Miami. Caroline Foster was a volunteer, the nurse explained over the phone. She targeted Eleanor Vidalno family. Plenty of money. Within a year, Eleanor changed her will. Then she died. Natural causes. But the timing. Sofia's pulse quickened, and Caroline vanished. With $2 million, a pattern emerges. Deeper digging revealed more. In New Orleans, a man named Henry Beaumont had left his fortune to a caregiver named Clara Navarro who disappeared. After his sudden stroke, Clara had the same scar, the same honey-sweet voice. "She picks vulnerable targets," Sofia muttered, scrolling through news archives. "Wealthy, isolated people. Then she becomes whoever they need." Miriam brought tea, her face grim. Now she's chosen Dominic. The plan. Sofia opened a blank document. "I'm going to write a novel, exposing her, indirectly. Her fingers flew over the keys. Fiction lets me reveal truths that a courtroom never could. The character came easily. Valeria, a chameleon-like con artist who seduced, betrayed, and vanished. Sophia wove in details only someone who knew Celine would recognize the way she twisted her hair when nervous. Her claimed allergy to shellfish, though she'd once told Dominic she grew up on the coast. Celine Slapone afternoon. Dominic dropped by to collect mail. Celine waited in the car, her sunglasses masking her eyes. Sophia wheeled onto the porch. "You look well," Celine said, her smile not reaching her eyes. "Do I?" Sophia tilted her head. "Funny, I heard you used to work in Miami. At a retirement home?" Celine's fingers froze midair. "I've never been to Miami." "Really?" Sophia smiled. "Must be someone else." As Dominic returned, Celine grabbed his arm. "Let's go." The invitation a week later, an envelope arrived. Inside, a clipping from a society column. Dominic Vargas and Celine Monteo announce relocation to his luxury estate in the Hamptons. Miriam scowled. She's isolating him. Sophia set the paper aside. She's scared. Her manuscript was nearly done, and Celine had no idea what was coming. The email from Helena, Sophia's editor, arrived at dawn. "This is your best work yet. Publisher wants it rushed for fall release." Sophia exhaled, her breath fogging the window pane. Outside, the first autumn leaves clung to the trees, stubborn. Against the wind, just like me, she thought. The book takes shape. Veiled Intentions was more than a thriller, it was a trap. Valeria, the novel's villain, mirrored Celine in uncanny ways. Her habit of humming French lullabies when nervous. Ways she forgot her passport when asked about her supposed years. A broad-thighed, tiny scar on her right wrist. Alana raised an eyebrow. During their video call, "This feels personal." "All fiction is personal," Sophia deflected. The journalist Cal Michael Dominguez introduced himself as an investigative reporter for the Miami Herald. "I've been tracking a woman matching your Valeria's description," he said. "Caroline Foster in Miami, Clara Navarro in New Orleans, now Celine Montejo." Sophia's hands trembled as she spread his evidence across her desk, a blurred security photo of Caroline Foster escorting Eleanor Vidal. To a Banca witness statement about Clara Navarro refusing an autopsy for Henry Beaumont. A flight manifest. Celine had flown to Miami 3 weeks before Dominic proposed. "She's careful," Michael said, "but not perfect." Dominic's blind spot, meanwhile. Dominic's Instagram became a shrine to his new life. Celine laughing on their Hamptons terrace. Celine arranging his tie before a gala. Celine's delicate hand resting on a notarized document. Last will and testament revision. Sophia screenshotted it and sent it to Michael. "Classic predator behavior," he replied. "She's accelerating the timeline." The leaked, weeks before publication, an advance copy of Veiled Intentions reached a popular book blogger. Her tweet went viral. "Is it just me, or does Valeria resemble Dominic Vargas's new wife? #FactorFiction. The replies exploded. "Oh my God, the scar detail. Celine has that. Wait till you read chapter 12. The accidental overdose scene is straight from the Eleanor Vidal case." Someone called Dateline. Celine's response was swift. Her lawyer issued cease and desist letters to the publisher, claiming defamatory fiction. Helena forwarded it with a note. "We're not scared, are you?" Sophia replied. "I've never been less scared in my life." The confrontation donk showed up unannounced, his knuckles white around a copy of the book. "What the hell is this?" he demanded, flinging it onto her desk. Sophia didn't flinch. "A novel. You used to read them, remember?" "You've turned our private life into entertainment?" "No." She wheeled closer. "I turned her crimes into evidence." Check chapter 14. The offshore accounts match Eleanor Vidal's missing millions. For the first time, doubt flickered in his eyes. "You're obsessed, and you're next on her list." She tossed him the flight manifest. She was in Miami when Eleanor died. He left without another word. The Stormbrusen publication day, Veiled Intentions debuted at number 3 on the bestseller list. By week 2, it hit number 1. True crime podcasts dissected the Valeria parallels. While Twitter sleuths connected Celine to 3 more suspicious inheritances, Then came the game changer. Michael's investigative piece dropped in the Herald with the headline, "The Many Faces of a Serial Grifter. How One Woman Allegedly Stole Millions and a Husband." Celine's photo appeared beside Caroline's and Clara's. The scars circled in red dot that night. Sophia's phone buzzed with Dominic's first text in months. "She's gone. Took $200,000 from our joint account. Call me, Sophia didn't call." Poured a glass of wine, opened her laptop, and began drafting the sequel. The morning after Michael's expose went live, Sophia woke to her phone buzzing violently across the nightstand. Dominic's name flashed on the screen. 11 missed calls. She silenced it and scrolled through the news alerts instead. Socialite. Celine Monteo wanted for questioning in multi-state fraud investigation. Author Sofia Fuentes' novel sparks real-life criminal probe. Where is Celine? Police traced deleted surveillance footage from Hampton's estate. Miriam arrived with coffee and the physical newspaper. Her mouth a grim line. "He's been calling me too. Sounds desperate." Sophia sipped her coffee. Let him sweat. Unraveling showed up at noon, unshaven and reeking of bourbon. The once polished businessman now looked like a man who'd slept in his car. "She cleaned me out," he rasped, collapsing into Sophia's armchair. "The Cayman accounts, the vintage watch collection, even my mother's pearls," Sophia noted the bruise on his jaw. "Did she put up a fight?" I tried to stop her from leaving. His laugh was hollow. "She kneed me in the groin and took my Rolex off my wrist while I was on the floor." Miriam muffled a snort in the kitchen. The loss of 3 days. Later, Sophia's lawyer slid a document across the table. "Dominic's suing you for defamation. Claims you fabricated Celine's crimes to destroy his reputation." Sophia traced the $10 million damages demand. He's still protecting her or himself. Her lawyer tapped the line about malicious falsehoods. But here's the beautiful part. To prove defamation, he'll have to prove your book is false. Which means, ... The truth comes out in court. Sophia smiled. Exactly. The courtroom Gambith hearing was a circus. Reporters jammed the benches while Dominic's high-priced attorney, Alan Thompson, paced like a caged panther. "My clients. Life has been destroyed by this work of fiction," Thompson thundered, waving veiled intentions at the judge. "A transparent revenge fantasy by a jealous ex-wife." Sophia's lawyer didn't rise from her chair. "Your Honor, we have certified bank records showing Celine Monteo transferred funds to the same offshore entity Caroline Foster used." "We have irrelevant," Thompson spat. "This hearing is about..." The judge silenced him with a raised hand. "Mr. Thompson, are you asserting that Ms. Fuentes invented these financial transactions?" A beat of silence. Dominic's jaw twitched. Celine's. Ghost at night. Sophia's security system alerted her to motion at the garden gate. The camera feed showed a hooded figure, too tall to be Celine, lurking near the roses. Then her phone lit up with an unknown number. "You should have stayed in your wheelchair and shut." Your mouth-attached photo made her blood freeze. A snapshot of her bedroom window, taken from outside. Dominic's turn at 3 a.m. Her doorbell rang. Dominic stood on the porch, wild-eyed. "I got one too." He showed her his phone. "Thanks for the easy access to the safe, darling. Say hi to Sophia from Ebeneth." It a photo of Celine blowing a kiss beside Dominic's emptied wall safe. "She's playing us," he whispered. Sophia wheeled back to let him in. "Welcome to the truth, Dominic." The first snow of winter dusted Manhattan as Sophia finalized the Netflix deal. Across her desk, the producer slid over a glossy mock-up of the promotional poster veiled intentions. A true story emblazoned beneath the actress playing her. "Want to lean into the real-life parallels?" the producer said eagerly. "The way your novel exposed an actual predator?" Sophia traced the image of Valerius Lynn's fictional counterpart, her face half hidden in shadow. "Just make sure the victims get their due." The trap Michael Dominguez arrived with a police file. "Interpol found her and nice," he said, spreading surveillance photos across the table. Celine Claudette Mercier lounged at a cafe with a silver-haired man in his 70s. "Same pattern," Michael muttered. "Already moved into his villa." Sophia studied the man's dazed smile. "She's drugging him. Look at his pupils." She pushed forward a screenshot from her book's overdose scene. The detective in charge hesitated. Without hard evidence. Then let's get some. Sophia opened her laptop. I know how she thinks. The bait they used, Dominic. A Vanity Fair profile painted him as a broken man, swindled by a ruthless seductress. The article included a telling detail. Vargas still keeps a safe deposit box with his mother's untouched jewels, the only asset Celine missed. 3 days later, security footage at a Zurich bank caught Claudette using a forged signature. Interpol arrested her mid-transaction, the stolen pearls. Spilling from her purse, the reckoning the trial made global headlines. Survivors from Miami to Nice testified the dementia patient whose will changed weeks before death. The widower found with unexplained sedatives in his tea. Celine never flinched. Not even when Sophia wheeled into court holding veiled intentions. Their eyes met across the room. Enjoying your sequel? Celine whispered as guards led her past. Sophia smiled. This was never about you. It was about them. She nodded to the victims' families in the gallery. The last page, John, the 1-year anniversary of the verdict. Sophia returned to the bookstore where she'd once read about predators. This time, the crowd cheered as she closed her memoir. Some stories don't end with justice. They begin with it. Outside, snow swirled around Dominic, waiting beneath a street lamp. He held out a single white rose, their first date tradition from a lifetime ago. Sophia took it, then wheeled past him until the storm